it has been rough. It's been a rough week. Rough because I should have known better, but I got really comfortable with how well she's been doing. She's been on an even keel, going through the routines of the day well, and not a lot of emotional ups and downs or craziness. And about a week ago, it started. Now, I don't want to talk to so-and-so because the last time I talked to them, it just didn't seem like, we were getting along. I said, we talk on speakerphone a lot around here. So I had overheard that conversation and been part of that conversation a little bit. And no, everything was fine. There was nothing, nothing that went awry or could be misinterpreted as a dig or conflict. So it's one of those little red flags. It's kind of just waving back there. But then we went a couple days and, she was still there was just a micro off. No big deal. And then she started expressing some anxiety over what will happen to her down the road. And so we had a conversation, and that was the end of it, I thought. Yeah, we'll move on. Nope. Next day, we had to go outside, sit. I had some coffee. We really spent some time going through it. And she got into broken record mode where it's question, repeat, question, just really, 7 times in a row type of, can't hold on to any part of the conversation, but still has this burning desire to process and to get information and know what's going to happen because of this anxiety and this fear. I had to shut it down after a while because it was ramping up and going nowhere. And of course, these conversations don't go anywhere with someone who is suffering from this disease. When you can't remember, you can't build. You can't logically build an argument. You can't. It's frustrating because so much of our ability to plan, strategize, have tactics, calm ourselves relies on some sort of a rationalization, and there's no rationalization when you cannot remember. So I had to shut it down, and we had a tiny little conversation that evening, and then the next day we had another conversation, had to shut that down, and then this morning she was up early. Now, she never comes downstairs unless she's dressed. This morning, she was on the warpath and in her pajamas. It was like, "Arr." And unfortunately, this morning was not a good morning for me. Migraine morning, and particularly bad migraine morning, which I've been doing pretty well. Haven't had one for a while. So kind of that perfect storm. And she's making demands, and she's not accepting what I have to say, and she's not remembering what I'm saying. And I'm trying to let her know, hey, gotta know our finances first before we can make decisions. Here are some thoughts about what could possibly happen. However, until probate's done, we don't know. And probate, you may know, takes a minimum of 1.5 years, but usually more like 2 or 3 years. So for us, it's going to look about 2.5 years. So we have a ways to go. And I am trying to explain, no, you can't live on your own anymore. And she wants to know where her stuff is and why she can't live on her own. And she thinks she can. And I mean, it's just, Anyway, so we left it with, I said, "Hey, look, we do need to have you evaluated by an expert as far as can you live alone and is it a safe place?" I said, "We can do that." And yeah, she's fine with that. She would accept the word of an expert. We'll see. We'll see, and we'll see if we have to go through this merry-go-round and this up and down and this emotional, crazy situation much longer. I note to self, right? Note to self. Remember, this happens. This is just part of the whole process with this disease. It's tough. It's hard. Need to have a spot and a space to get away. I'm fortunate. I'm able to do that. I have a space to get away. Need to be able to have a sense of humor, put things into place, and so I'm able to do that. Need to be flexible and need to know where your borderline is. Stop before you get there. Manage the emotions and the flashbangs and all that, so that you don't get roped into it and drawn into it. But you get a little drawn into it. The reality is the memory that she holds on to the best has the most emotion. So if there's no emotion, boy, she's not holding on to that at all from her past or from the, you know, uh, short term, nothing. So, and it's scary for her. Think about what it would be like to feel like everything is slipping away from you, all of your control, all of your personal agency, everything is going, and you're fighting as much as you can. And she's a little fighter. Yeah. So that's what's going on. I wish you the very best. If you are challenged at all, please know I care about you. Feel free to comment on this, and I really hope the best for you. And it'll be what it'll be.